Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stephen Breach coming to you. I just finished the Legends with JBL with guest Road Dogg Jesse James on the show. I will honestly tell you that people might think I'm crazy. I know I talked about this in my last one. People might think of Road Dogg Jesse James as not being a big name, not being a real legend in professional wrestling. He's not even a WWE Hall of Famer. He's not Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's not Shawn Michaels. He's not Chris Jericho, Vince McMahon, Triple H. So many people have been on all of these podcasts, but Legends with JBL is just a TV special on the WWE Network. It was an hour long. I can't believe it. I honestly sat here and I was entertained throughout the whole show, and I would have thought it was only 30 minutes. The thing passed by so fast. A very good, very heart-touching, very honest interview between two guys that talk about the fact that they have, in the past, in 1995, 1996, during the Attitude Era, had habits that brought them down, and now they're, two completely different men. It was like they were almost telling the story of Road Dogg throughout his career and everything that he went through. They talked about the fact that he was in the Operation Desert Storm. He fought in the war, and basically then turned into following his father's footsteps, and basically through being involved with wrestling and the life that comes with it, having problems with addiction. He even called himself a drug addict. He was, had problems with alcohol. He's a guy that I believe he says went to rehab 5 times on WWE's dime, and basically had to get himself clean, get himself sober. Now he works with WWE in the creative as one of the agents, and he told the story of basically being a good coach. He told a story about accidentally jumping some guy and throwing the negatives at him. It's just just about being a good coach, and I really thought that almost out of everything that happened on this show, just Road Dogg came out as a very honest, very true guy. I met this guy at WrestleMania 28 weekend at that time it was called Wrestle Reunion, and I didn't have the hugest interaction with them. I met the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn at the same time. Road Dogg was just coming into being a part of being an agent in WWE, and I thought it was crazy. I think we met him WrestleMania morning, that they would let him do that and still be able to get over there, but he probably took the booking before he got the job, and that's how that whole thing worked out. But I was always a fan of Road Dogg. It's easy to say that you're a fan of all those guys from the Attitude Era. If I made a top 10, a top 20, maybe even a top 50 wrestlers, he probably wouldn't be on there. But you just really don't notice the trip that some guys go on. And basically he talked about the fact he was in Operation Desert Storm, and he said that he honestly wanted to re-up with the Marines, but due to budget cuts that came due to Bill Clinton getting in office, basically if he was going to re-up, he wanted to become a drill sergeant because of what he thought about how cool it was to make a Marine and basically go through everything that the drill sergeants do, getting guys through boot camp and things like that. And it's not that those people are trying to beat you up. They're trying to make you into a better person. They might be able to do things better than you and do faster than you because they go through these drills constantly over and over and over again. And as soon as your infantry is out, they bring a new one in, and they're always there doing the same thing. And that's how they get used to doing it so much better. And they're trying to show you how to do it better. That's what he wanted to do. But basically because of the fact that he wouldn't be able to re-enlist and change his job title, they were just going to put him right back into, fighting on the front line. That wasn't what he wanted to do. He got out, decided to give the wrestling thing a try, and that's why we're here today, because of the fact that he quickly learned and became a very good student and got a job in WWE. They talked about Be My Baby Tonight, which in 1995 was a big angle for the WWF, where Jeff Jarrett was playing a country music singer, but Road Dogg was playing his roadie, who ended up at the end of the angle was singing the songs. But due to Bill Watts coming in and getting a job with WWF, basically this pissed off Jeff Jarrett, who thought that he wasn't making the right amount of money that he should have been making, and Jeff Jarrett quit, and that sort of left Road Dogg in a spot because he had been working with Jeff, and if Jeff was upset, he thought that he should be upset, and he ended up quitting as well. And then they told the story of basically how they quit, but then pretty much Bill Watts got fired, and then he went to WCW, which cock-blocked him from getting a job there because he just quit on the same guy. So it ended up being that Road Dogg had to wait out some while, and then he got a job back with WWF once again, where they brought him in as the Road Dogg Jesse James, where he was the true singer of Be My Baby Tonight. It was finally, brought out that that's who it was. But then he did an angle with the Honky Tonk Man, and then basically Road Dogg was put with the Honky Tonk. No, I apologize. Badass Billy Gunn at the time was put with the Honky Tonk Man as Rockabilly, and they basically just kept going to Vince Russo saying, hey, what we're doing sucks. We're wrestling in the opening match every night. I want to do anything other than what I'm doing. And he's saying, well, what do you want to do? And they say, I don't have any ideas. And finally, one thing leads to another, and they put the New Age Outlaws together. If you go back in time and you watch those guys come out for their first tag team match, the first time that they come out, they really have nothing going on for them. And the one thing they have going on is that awesome intro. And basically, Road Dogg says that he got that from Chains, who was a part of I was going to call them the New Age Outlaws, but the DOA, Disciples of Apocalypse, the motorcycle gang that was in WWE at the time, and he had a saying of you better page someone, and he basically said, I'm going to do that when I come out, and he said, no, you're not. And then he came out for the first time and he did it, and it caught on like wildfire. Everybody loved it, and they took the tag team division by storm. They didn't spend a lot of time talking about the New Age Outlaws as tag team. They didn't really talk about Billy Gunn as well. They basically just talked about the fact that him and Billy never traveled together. They weren't really friends together. They had real cocky attitudes. I don't know if that was meaning that they were, they thought one was better than the other. I always looked at these guys and thought they were the best friends in the entire world. But he said it wasn't until much later that they actually became good friends and got together. Maybe this was when they were both not in WWE and they were probably having to work indies and travel a lot and do things like that together. Maybe that's when they were forced to become friends. But at this time, basically, Badass Billy Gunn was a guy that was in the gym every morning. Road Dogg was probably, trying to get over a hangover, just trying to sleep in from not getting much sleep the night before, hanging out and partying. He said that he used to know all the towns by the bars, and now he gets to the point where he's got them, and he knows them all by where the gyms are and things like that. But basically, they get to the point where he gets fired from WWE, and they do have a good bit of a time gap. And they talk about Road Dogg having troubles in his life, being addicted to drugs, and basically they bring up the fact of what the Voodoo Kin Mafia was. And I know if you go back, I have it actually uploaded on my channel. There's a sit-down interview with DX at, I believe, the Royal Rumble 2013. It's called a panel, and much like they show on the WWE Network, and maybe someday they'll uncover this and they'll show it if they filmed it. But it's a sit down talking about DX, and one of the questions from the crowd is just a guy being a dick. Asked Triple H about Voodoo Kin Mafia, and he says that he doesn't know what they're talking about, and he doesn't know what TNA is, and Road Dogg's trying to cover for him, trying to say that Triple H is such a busy guy that he doesn't have time for things like that, and he honestly doesn't know. But here Road Dogg says that, him and Triple H actually had a discussion. Vince McMahon didn't really want to hire him to bring him back, and it wasn't because of the Voodoo Kin Mafia things. It was just because of the fact that Vince didn't trust him because he was an admitted drug addict, and here he was coming into a position of being on the creative team, helping guys with their matches, and there was a great chance for him to screw up and be something that would hurt Monday Night Raw or hurt SmackDown by him not being 100% be able to do his job. But basically, he said that Voodoo Kin Mafia was a thing where TNA offered him $1,500 a week. Road Dogg needed something to pay for his family, but more often than not, he needed something to pay for drugs. So he took the money and he came in there and basically said whatever Vince Russo told him to say. And he doesn't say it's all Vince Russo's fault. He was the one that was saying those things. And he had a talk with Triple H about what he said. And I don't think he came out and he said he apologized, but you got the point across that he did apologize. But he came back, and now he's a big part of everything that's going on in WWE. Very good, very heartfelt, very honest, very true interview. I think it was very good, and I hope you guys go out of your way to check this out. Road Dogg Legends with JBL. I'm glad that they did it all in one 1 hour episode instead of splitting it up into 2 half-hour ones. The last time they did that, they put in a half hour on after Raw, and they put a half hour on it for SmackDown. But if you sit down to watch this, it'll be over before you know it, and you'll get right through it.